So finally, the time has come for my second part of my catfish video. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this video, and now I actually have the time to do that. And so, I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of this and tell you guys what happened to my catfish story and the outcome of everything. Also, if you're new to this video and you've never seen my first part of my catfish video, go ahead and click right here. I'm gonna link you guys to the first part. Watch that, then you can watch this video. So in my first part of the catfish video, I left off with New Year's. So New Year's has passed by, and we still never met each other yet. My feelings towards him were very, very strong. I was really content with everything that was going on, despite the fact that me and him, never FaceTimed each other, never, webcams or anything like that. He doesn't even have a Facebook. He doesn't even have an Instagram. He has no social networking sites or any proof that he was real. In the back of my mind, I had doubts that this guy was lying to me and that this guy was fake. But at the same time, things were going so great, and I really didn't think that he would lie to me, because we came this far. So this was the beginning of January, and school was going to start on, I believe, January 22nd or 26th. Around that time, me and him were supposed to meet on January 9th, which is the day that he was supposed to come down, drop everything off in his dorm and get everything situated, because he was going to come stay at the dorm at the college where, we were both attending. At this point, I was very excited to meet him. Finally, on January 9th, he told me that he was going to be in Lafayette, which is, where the school is at around 3:30 p.m. around that time or so. But he told me that like the day before we talked. I woke up in the morning of January 9th. We didn't really talk. I just knew that he was going to be here, and I didn't want to bother him. I didn't want to text or call him, because you know what, I'm just going to wait till I meet him. 10 o'clock passed by, 11 o'clock passed by, 12 o'clock passed by. I would think that he would text me and be as excited as I am, but I don't know, I didn't really hear from him. He was quiet. It was unusual, and 3 o'clock came around, still never heard from him. 3:30, still never heard from him. And at this point, I was just kind of like, man, like what the fuck is going on, because I felt so set up, like this whole thing was a joke or something. And so he told me that he didn't make it to Lafayette because his mom found out that he has been talking to me. That was the reason why he didn't text me. And his mom was like, you're not gonna go to UL because I don't trust you. I don't believe that this is gonna be right for you. I don't believe that you're gonna focus on your education, because you and this guy has been talking for a while. That's what he sent me through email, because obviously he couldn't text me or call me. At this point, I was very confused, hurt, and I just felt so crushed. But we emailed each other back and forth, and what I can remember from those emails were that he kept explaining to me that, we shouldn't talk, that this whole thing, isn't going to happen because his mom doesn't like the fact that he's gay. Supposedly she was like religious or something like that. I was just like going along with it, like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't talk. What, matter of fact, I confronted him saying that, maybe this whole entire time this was fake, and that you are not the person that you say you are. When I confronted him that, he was like, no, that's absolutely wrong. This is me. This is who I am. I'm telling you, you gotta trust me on this. You gotta believe me that I am Nick Tucson. It's just that the situation that I'm in right now is so fucked up. So for you to think that, I can truly understand. But at the same time, I'm real, and my feelings are real. Like, he just kept saying that. And the sound of him being so positive and so sure of who he is, it just kind of like made me question again, like, okay, yeah, maybe he is who he is, and maybe this whole situation between him and his mom is real. Obviously, I couldn't get over Nick that fast, because we have been talking for so long, and I invested in so much feelings for this guy. I was like, you know, maybe we could just email each other back and forth like this, because that way we can keep in touch and maybe one day we can meet each other finally, and that way, you know, she'll never have to know. So, you know, I was still being hopeful at this point. For some reason, he got his phone back within like 2 or 3 days, and everything was back to normal. We started texting each other again. The whole thing with him coming down on January 9th, like, pretty much never happened. Like, the whole situation with him and his mom, like, never happened. We started talking again, and he told me that he was gonna come down for sure on, I believe, January 20th. Pretty much a week before school starts. Yes, my hopes were definitely high again. And this time, there's no excuses, because school is gonna start. He goes to UL and he lives in a dorm, so that means, you know, he has no excuses. This guy is finally going to meet me. I was happy again. I just try to ignore everything that happened between me and him and the whole thing with him and his mom. At the same time, it was kind of fucking sketchy at the fact that the day that we're supposed to meet, something happened. The day that we're supposed to meet, he bailed out on me because the situation between him and his mom. And then 2 to 3 days later, the whole thing just kind of like never happened and everything was back to normal. Alright, so on the day of January 20th, that's the day that Nick was finally going to come down and meet me. So I'm so happy at this point, because I know like nothing will come in between us, just because you can't change the school date. So on the day that he came down, he left Baton Rouge, which is, you know, where he was from, to come down to Lafayette. It was about 7 or 8 at night. When he told me that he was here, I remember feeling it was like a dream almost, because this guy that I have been talking for 2 months is finally going to meet me, and I get to see how he looks in person. I don't know, I was just really excited, you know. He texted me saying that, babe, I'm here, you can come see me now. So I got there and I parked on the road near the dorms, and I waited there for about 5 minutes. And he told me, he was like, hey, you know, let me shower real quick and then I'll come down and I'll come meet you. You know, so I just sat there in the car, played on my phone, whatever. And 5 minutes passed, 10 minutes passed, 15 minutes passed by, 20 minutes passed by, 25 minutes passed by, 30 minutes passed by. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I called him, he doesn't pick up. Texted him, he didn't fucking answer me back. I was so fucking tired of everything. At this point, I was getting so angry. Just the anticipation was building up, and I was not happy at all, you know, because I'm supposed to be excited, and all of a sudden I got an email from Nick Toussaint, the guy I have been talking to. I was speechless. I sat there and I just could not believe that this is actually happening to me, that this whole situation was nothing but pretty much a dream. This whole fucking entire time I have been catfished. It just happened to be some other fucking guy using his best friend's pictures. I was not into this person. I'm into the pictures that he sent me before, and I believed everything, every word that he said, every fucking lie that he said. I believed everything, and I was so hurt. Like, I feel so pathetic. I really do. Until this day, I don't like to talk about it to anyone, but obviously I'm making a YouTube video about it, and you know, it's crazy how I got catfished. I wish I could take everything back and realize that in the beginning it wasn't him. But you live and you learn, and that you gotta take this as a lesson and just move on with it. I'm glad that it happened to me because it definitely made me more careful with meeting guys online. Take my experience and put it into your own hands and try to be careful with meeting people online. Don't put yourself out there without actually, having proof of the real person that you're talking to. It's not a great feeling to be in the situation that I was in. Obviously, from personal experience, just know that if you meet somebody online, the first thing that you should do is ask to FaceTime or webcam with them or meet up in person. Thank you so much for staying tuned with my catfish story. I hope you guys can enjoy this. Have a great day. Kisses and smooches.